Static scratching the backside of my skull. The mirror thinks of face I no longer own. Heavy breathing beneath the company of vital engine shifting into gear. Tapping on the glass of my ribcage. Ready to burn the script and flip the page. Beyond the mask of the morning routine. Something sharp and vivid and unseen. Your Chikara is waking up tonight. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Tell me before where the borders begin. Not a shadow, but a burning flash of light. A different soul taking over the flight. Keep me alive, heartbeats fast. Breaking the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire wearing my name, and nothing ever is going to be the same. Taking motion stops dead in its tracks. Velocity rising through the spinal taps. I am watching my hands move on their own, occupying the throne I have never known. The shy demeanor of faded ghost. The passenger has become the host. Sudden clarity in the frantic heat. Total control and a frantic beat. Haunting those who got time coming through. There's a stranger dancing under my skin. Telling the door where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a fire, flash, light. A distance all taking over the fight. Making the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire wearing my name, and nothing ever is going to be the same. There is a stranger dancing under my skin, telling the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a body flash of light. A different soul taking over the flight. You know, the heartbeats fast. I can mold of the hollow dust. It is a wild love wearing my name, and knowing it's going to be the same. Give me the power to see what you've done. Shadow of faith. The shadow groove may never be undone. scratching the backside of my skull. The mirror thinks of face I no longer own. Heavy breathing beneath the company of violent engine shifting into gear. Tapping on the glass of my ribcage. Ready to invert the script and flip the page. Beyond the mask of the morning routine. Something sharp and vivid and unseen. Kono Chikara is waking up tonight. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the borders begin. Not a shadow, but a money flash of light. A different soul taking hold on the flight. Me heartbeats fast. We keep the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire where we're in. And nothing ever is going to be the same. Taking motion stops dead in its tracks. Velocity rising through the spinal taps. I am watching my hands move on their own, occupying the throne I have never known. The shy demeanor of faded ghost. The passenger has become the host. Sudden clarity in the frantic heat. Total control at a frantic beat. Hard to know, so got time coming through. There's a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a fire flash of light. A different soul taking over the fight. We don't know any other heartbeats fast. Breaking the mold of the hollow blast. It is a fire where we were named. And nothing ever is going to be the same. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a body flash of light. A different soul taking over the fight. You know, honey, you know that heartbeats fast. I can the mold of the hollow dust. It is a wild I wear my name. And nothing else is going to be the same. Give me the power to see what you've done. Shadow of faith. The shadow groove may never be undone. Where's my earring? Staring, scratching the backside of my skull. The mirror thinks of face I no longer own. Heavy breathing beneath the company of violent engine shifting into gear. Tapping on the glass of my ribcage. Ready to invert the script and flip the page. Beyond the mask of the morning routine. Something sharp and vivid and unseen. Kono Chikara is waking up tonight. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the borders begin. Not a shadow, but a money flash of light. A different soul taking hold on the flight. Keep me on the heartbeats fast. Breaking the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire where we were in. And nothing ever is going to be the same. Taking motion stops dead in its tracks. velocity rising through the spinal taps. I am watching my hands move on their own, occupying the throne I have never known. The shining meaner of faded ghost, the passenger has become the host. Sudden clarity in the frantic heat, total control and a frantic beat. Holding till knows who got time coming through. There's a stranger dancing under my skin. Staring up tall where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a light and a flash of light. A different soul taking over the fight. You don't know, coming another heartbeat fast. Breaking the mold of the heart of us. It is a fire where we were made, and nothing ever is going to be the same. There is a stranger dancing under my skin, tearing the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow, but a burning flash of light. A different soul taking over the fight. Mute out, cutting your heartbeat fast. I get the hold of the heart of dust. It is a wild of where my name, and nothing else is going to be the same. Give me the power to see what you've done. Shine on fair. The shadow groove may never be undone. I don't know where to be. Lord, I'm save me. I was working at hardcore. She came to me, bitch wants a scouting report. We don't know where our lives may end up, but I know one thing feel I can't ignore.
I can't find it. Oh well. What the fuck was that?
Everybody thinks it's our time to die, but I know better. Take my hand. Let's show them our united stand. I don't know why you pay me. You're the ones that make
Oh, please get in. Oh my god.
Hunting for a dream, longing for a space. It's the same wish I've had since the day I saw your face. You may never know how far I will go to trace your heart into my very bone. Over the rainbow, steady high home. Rifles with me, let's start show. Imagine your kiss, step forward into the mist. Shadow walk, shadow walk, shadow walk, shadow walk. Static scratching the backside of my skull. The mirror reflects a face I no longer own. Heavy breathing beneath the company. A vital engine shifting into gear. Slapping on the glass of my ribcage. Ready to rewrite the script that flipped the page. Beyond the mask of the morning routine. Something sharp and vivid and unseen. Your chikara is waking up tonight. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the borders begin. Not a shadow but a funny flash of light. A different soul taking over the flight. Kimi no nakari another heartbeats fast. Breaking the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire wearing my name. And nothing ever is going to be the same. Taking motion stops dead in its tracks. Velocity rising through the spinal taps. I am watching my hands move on their own, occupying the throne I have never known. The shining demeanor of faded ghost. The passenger has become the host. Sudden clarity in the frantic heat. Total control at a frantic beat. Haunted knows who got time coming through. There's a stranger dancing under my skin. Tearing the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow but a bright light. A different soul taking over the fight. Kimi no nakari another heartbeat fast. Breaking the mold of the hollow past. It is a fire wearing my name. And nothing ever is going to be the same. There is a stranger dancing under my skin. Telling the floor where the walls begin. Not a shadow but a body, flash of light. A different soul taking over the flight. Kimi no nakari another heartbeats fast. I can mold of the hollow dust. It is a wild I wear my name. And nothing else is going to be the same. Give me the power to see what you've done. Shadow of faith. The shadow groove may never be undone.
All right, welcome back. Now, before I get into this,
I'm gonna be responding to this video that was uploaded yesterday.
Oh my god.
So the other day, the dreaded question came up when I was talking with my parents. When am I going to get married?
Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and get 1.9% APR or $3,500 customer bonus on a new 2026 Atlas.
Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through the basic vision. It's a coming-of-age story.
So the other day, the dreaded question came up when I was talking with my parents. When am I going to get married? Not a girlfriend. No, it was straight up, when are you going to get a wife? When are you going to get kids? So then I tried explaining my parents how the dating market works in the first place, to which they didn't even understand that there is a dating market. That whole concept to them is just foreign. You know, that is the main issue that I want to talk about first, right? The main issue nowadays is that you have to mog, and that is such a weird thing, because back in the day you just had to be some dude. One of my bosses back at my hotel, I met him the other day, and you know, we were talking about this whole relationship stuff again, and he told me that back in the day he used to have a bike and he went to boxing. That's all he did, and that was enough to get girls. Like, imagine nowadays, bro, it's like you have to be 6 foot, you have to have a nice job, you have to have a big D, you have to do this, you have to do that. So you have to do so much stuff. You have to mog in so many areas. This is not even step one. You know, that's the biggest joke about all of this. This is step 0. This is just attracting a girl. None of this will actually guarantee anything. That's like the biggest joke about all of this. This is why, you know, sometimes I get these comments where people say I'm a fake seller or whatever. A lot of you don't get it, that even when you ascend looks-wise, the dating market is so cooked nowadays. The only thing ascending will guarantee is hookups. That's it. When you ascend, when you get better looking, when you get into a better career, you get a better job. Yeah, getting hookups is super easy. It's super brain dead. You can just open Tinder. You're going to get matches. It's not going to be that difficult. That is the only thing that ascending will guarantee, but it won't guarantee anything else. It's not going to give you a relationship, because in order to get a relationship, you're going to have to meet her in person, because if you meet her online, likely she's for the streets.
What's your body count?
Mine?
Yeah.
10.
I mean, at least, like, the crazy thing is, like, at least other girls have 10 to 18, like, she's 21 and she has 10.
Which that is essentially my second point. So step 1 is that you need to mog. That is the biggest issue in the modern dating sphere, right? You need to mog, because if you don't mog, you're not going to get any attraction. Okay, so now you mog, now you can attract girls, whatever. Still, like, getting into this relationship is such an uphill battle. So what changed, right? What made the whole relationship thing become basically impossible? Well, there's many factors. I would say a very big one, the first one that I would think of, is the birth control pill. This essentially takes away any consequences for sleeping around. Back in the day, you couldn't really sleep around as both guys and girls. I mean, as a guy, obviously, you can still do it, but that means there's going to be tons of fatherless women. And at some point, you know, people are going to know about you, you know, as this type of dude who's going to do that. And you're going to get into some type of trouble, right? Especially because there was way more community. So it was easier to kick someone out, to shame them. Nowadays, there is no consequence for doing that. The Chad in your college who's gone through the 50, 100 girls, you don't even know that, right? Like, if you're not part of the BP, if you're still like this oofy doofy type of dude, you wouldn't even notice. Like, to you, all these girls would just be, you know, clean and angels and whatever, because you don't see the consequence of it anymore, because, you know, they're on this birth control pill. Another thing that's not talked about enough about the birth control thing is that it changes women on a hormone level, so they get more attracted to these feminine looking dudes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of sexy. Why are we doing this?
Hey. How are you?
You're to just do that and think that we would stay silent, okay? And think I'm not going to react to it in any sort of degenerate way. Like, let's be honest.
How am I? I'm
In a more natural
I'm good.
environment, dimorphism is the main thing that's going to get you attracted to the other gender. So the more masculine you look, the more attractive you would become. Whereas nowadays, there's this weird like middle range where I noticed as a guy you have to have some masculine features. But
What's
also
on your
a lot of
mind?
feminine features, and it's like it's so weird. It's so mixed up. Another problem that made getting into a relationship basically useless, or this is more about marriage, but still, it's that women work. I know I've said this in the past, and people always, they zone out, they click off the
Nothing
video,
much.
upset, whatever,
But you're just
bro, it's
browsing
reality.
today.
The biggest reason why your
Oh, you just wanted to say
girlfriend
hi.
is marriage for his entire life. It's not because she loved him. I mean, maybe she did, who knows? But it's because she needed him. That is the main thing. Marriage has always been this contractual term, this negotiation. It has never been about love. That is like this Disney bullshit vision of nowadays. The vast majority of marriages throughout history have always been a contract. It's always been, okay, I, provide for you, and in return I get this, and this. That's how the vast
I'm glad you
majority
said
of
hi to
marriages
me.
have been. I notice a lot of these Zoomers, right? They're praising the medieval times, the knights, the maidens, and it's like, yeah, but part of that time was also the contractual marriage. Part of that time was also that this whole idea of love was basically, I'm not going to say non-existent, because I'm sure there's been couples who actually loved each other, but it was way lower on the list. It wasn't that big of a priority. And we see the direct consequence of the opposite in the modern day and age. So in the modern day and age, women not just do they make their own income, lately they've been out earning men in various jobs, various states, various countries. And the main consequence of this is that, well,
You
they don't
okay
need
here
men.
regularly?
They don't need
Yeah.
men.
I'm usually on here like
That is like the main difference
every
between
evening.
women, right? You can see this with, for example, Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Elon Musk
I'm always
is
around for like an
very
hour or
rich guy.
two.
He has 12 kids.
Depends how busy it
Whatever,
is.
15, 20, I don't know how many kids he has. He has a lot of kids. But then you look at, for example, very rich women, like, I don't know, Kamala Harris or something, 0 kids. These are just 2 examples off the top of my head. But in general, when guys earn a lot, they want to provide. That is because that's in our like biological nature that we want to provide. This is also why you send, for example, for a girl. It's the innate desire to
I'll
provide
see you.
for her. That's why it's so hard to resist simping. Whereas girls have never really had this issue. Sure, they simp for Chad, but Chad is like 0.1% of society. For the vast majority of
It was good to
people,
speak to you.
they don't care, so they're also not going to provide. And so this means that if you give to this gender who doesn't provide
Bye,
substantial money,
Cosmic.
well, this is going to be spent on mostly materialistic, selfish stuff such as clothing. I don't know whatever else they buy, but it's mostly clothing, which that in itself just leads to a complete collapse of society, because as much as nowadays it's been fabricated that we hate each other, we do need each other at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if you want society to thrive, we do need each other, which sucks, right? Because it seems that nowadays, like both genders, they just can't stand each other, which that's how you know we're kind of cooked. Another reason why getting into a relationship just seems impossible is obviously because of social media. So social media didn't do as much damage as the first 2 that I just named, but it still did a whole lot of damage, right? If you took out social media out of the equation, if tomorrow social media disappeared, the whole dating market would improve substantially. That is because social media basically enables this innate term that women have. So the
Why does it keep on
innate nature of
blocking her?
men is that we simp, is that we provide. The innate nature of women is hypergamy, that they always look for the best partner. This is how it's across all species and nature too.
Elephant seals are a good example of natural selection in nature. We see that the bigger and stronger elephant seals are the only ones able to pass on their genes, while the inferior, smaller males are not able to ever reproduce. It's something that we see times and times again in nature.
It's in every single animal you can see this, right? So humans are no different. Women also are going to go for the guy who's the tallest, sharpest jawline, full head of hair, guy who makes the most money, the highest stat, stuff like that. We all know this. That isn't like an actual problem because, again, it's just a natural thing. The problem is that social media has basically turned hypergamy on like steroids because now they're constantly exposed to chats, which that's not how it's supposed to be. Like in my town, in my small town where I live, there is one chat light, it's not even a chat, and that's it. And that guy got a girlfriend back in high school. Guess what? Now he's locked down and no other girl can chase him. Now she can still dream about him, but the guy isn't gonna entertain her because he has his own girlfriend, and that's the end of the story, right? Which means that the other guys, the other chumps below him, they actually stand a chance now. Except social media allows them nowadays to just look for another chat from another town. And you can see on a bigger scale, this will create bigger problems because it's not even about a chat in another town anymore, dude. It's about, these days, it's literally about getting flown out by some millionaire. And I remember the first time that I heard this, I thought that this is so absurd. This doesn't happen, The girls that I went to in high school, they're not getting flown out. But the other day, I actually went to Instagram and I saw that a few of these girls, actually 2 or 3 of the girls that I went to in high school, all of a sudden, there's these pictures of them in Dubai or in all these other expensive locations without their boyfriends, right? Without like any man on the camera. And I was just thinking, who's paying for that? Like, who's paying for these trips? But regardless, the point is that social media has basically made hypergamy on steroids. Yes, hypergamy is a natural state of women, but it is not supposed to be this extreme. Like, for example, just look at this. Once you understand that this girl is chasing the same guy as the Stacys, that's how you know it's over. Yeah, I get it, dude. The top girls, they want the top guys. That's always how it's been. But nowadays, it's like these 4 out of 10s are still chasing the top guy. And just for everything, it's completely cooked, and that's why, we are where we are.
I'm probably the most likable guy you will meet.
Sounds like something the most unlikable guy. Can you give me your impression of like a whiny dog?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't respond.
I mean, I prefer cats. Yeah.
We come from a man who tried to kill our mama, and a mama who wants to kill that man.
Make your daddy dead.
You ready?
Those are my girls.
Yep.
Yes, girl, yes. Rated R. Here's me 15.
Old Spice Gentleman's Body Wash. Full of vitamins.
B3! B3!
I thought I had fatty liver disease, but it's actually MASH, and it's scarring my liver.
Restifra treats MASH with moderate to advanced liver scarring without cirrhosis, along with diet and exercise. Restifra has accelerated FDA approval. Studies are ongoing to confirm benefit. It works directly in the liver. It helps reduce scarring and reduce MASH.
Before taking, tell your doctor about liver or gallbladder problems, or if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to be. Serious side effects include liver injury, gallstones, gallbladder, pancreas inflammation. Stop taking and call your doctor about tiredness, nausea, vomiting, fever, rash, yellowing of your skin or eyes, stomach pain. Tell your doctor if taking Gemfibrozil, clopidogrel, or statins. Side effects include diarrhea, itching, dizziness, constipation.
Ask your liver specialist if Restifra could make a difference for you.
And so a final reason why getting into a relationship is so hard is, I'm going to say, because of the enablers. There's a reason why a 5 out of 10 girl these days has this ego as if she's Brad Pitt. With guys, usually it's, the more attractive guys who have an ego, whereas the average normie guy doesn't really have that much of an ego. In fact, I would say the normies nowadays are quite insecure, whereas with girls it's the complete opposite, right? It doesn't matter if I'm talking to a 3 out of 10 lamb, she still has this insane ego. It's because of the enablers. This is something I discovered in university, but every single girl that I've talked to, her phone constantly keeps buzzing when I'm talking to her. I'm not kidding you. Sometimes I've even made a joke like a few times telling her like, yo, what's up, are you not popular? And then she shows me her iPhone screen and it says like 99 plus on iMessage, 99 plus on WhatsApp, 99 plus on Snapchat, 99 plus on every fucking app. And it's like, no shit at the ego for God, because so many men these days are enablers. You know, so many men these days are complete simps. It's basically the opposite of the hypergamy thing. Us men, we are innately, we want to provide, right? We want to simp. That's just a flaw, I guess you could say. That's like part of us. Because of this loneliness epidemic that gets exploited quite a lot. We have these lonely men who are paying for OnlyFans, or they're messaging random girls, they're DMing random girls on Instagram.
I've opened a profile on Tinder and I've named her Jane, and she's 60 years old. You go along, I've got 99 matches plus, doesn't even register anything. Like, these are the guys, like, it's endless, like super likes.
And these men are the enablers. These men are also a big reason why things are the way they are. Because if you're a guy like me who is just going on about his life, you're not DMing random girls, you're still going to be affected by these people, right? Like from talking to a girl at school, she's still going to have the ego the size of a mountain. And it's because of these people. And the crazy part is also how early this starts. So I used to go to this gym that was like connected to this hotel. Because I went there quite often, I kind of knew the people who worked there. And a few of these girls who worked there, they were like 16, 17, 18, quite young. Bro, at those ages, their phones were still constantly like buzzing constantly. And I was just thinking, dude, like these girls literally grow up with this celebrity mindset. Like when I turn on notifications for YouTube, I have the same thing, right? I'm not gonna lie. Like when I turn on the notifications and I upload a new video, my phone is gonna buzz 1,000 times too. I've done it once and it made me go crazy, so I turned it off. The thing is, I worked for this. Like I made this entire channel, I made all these videos, I did all this stuff. Whereas girls just get it for free. They just make this Instagram, they post some picture, they post a Snapchat picture. It's like boom, easy, free, 99 minutes, just not like. It's so over, man. Like it's like once I saw that, dude. Like once I saw these random girls at this hotel that they're like bang average, right? 5 out of 10s, but they're getting bombarded with messages. They're getting bombarded with Snapchats from like these 30-year-old, 40-year-old delusional men. Like it's so brutal. These girls would show me this picture of some old boomer guy, and she would like laugh her ass off showing that to me and mock the guy. But then, you know, she sends them back some picture of, oh, that's cute, but you know, just to like fuel the fire even more, right? Because innately she's addicted to the attention, and we're cooked, man. And so all in all, this is why, you know, when you see these stats that like 60% of Gen Z men are single, which by the way, these stats are outdated. It's like from 2000.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to understand why exactly you're feeling the way you do about this guy when you see him, because he doesn't really care a certain way about you. Going by your cards, the lovers in the primary position does show that there does seem to be some kind of lesson or higher purpose meaning behind your connection to this person, which probably is why you get certain feelings when you see him. You know, 5 of Cups in the secondary position. It does seem to say that something about him links to something from your past, something involving a great trauma or pain, and something about him seems to soothe that part of you, whether it's his presence or how he interacts with you. Knight of Pentacles in the final position ultimately shows, due to it being reversed, that mainly what you're missing in your own personal life seems to just be a sense of security from someone else and someone who's been consistent in your life. So, from what I'm gathering, it seems like they're just someone who's fairly reliable and consistent, and it's just something that you don't really get a lot of in your life. Now, if you'd like to know more about what the future holds between the two of you, as well as your compatibility with each other, you can give me a call or send me a message.
Need to work just to get to the exact same position that one man used to get to, except it's not even the same position, it's far lower, because even when both guy and girl are the average person these days can't even afford a house anymore, of how like expensive houses have become. So all in all, everything is just I don't know, man, everything is just degraded. It's kind of depressing. Like, you look at all the stats. I guess to conclude the video, the thing that really solidified this, like the reason why I want to make this video is I saw like one of my chat friends that I'm in university. He kind of looks like Robert Pattinson, but ginger, and his girlfriend was like this average, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 Becky. And the other day, she actually broke up with him because he wasn't giving her enough attention, and that kind of shocked me because I was just thinking if that caliber of a guy is struggling, then I'm cool because like, this guy is literally taller than me. He's way better face card. He's actually handsome. He's basically the full package, and I see men like him, still struggling, and it's like, well, I don't even stand a chance at that point, right? But at the end, it's on this boomer note. The one thing I guess we can get out of this, which I don't know if this is dope, but the one positive you can get out of this is that it's not your fault. One of the things that I used to do is I would always blame myself. I would always tell myself it's my fault. I would say, generally speaking, blaming yourself is a healthy thing because that way you take more accountability. However, you have to realize that some things are just not inside of your control. Sometimes you're just born during the wrong times. You're just born during the end of an empire like we are. It's almost like being born at the end of the Roman Empire. That's basically what Gen Z is like. Because for the past 3-4 years, all these self-improvers or all these alpha gurus have always told you that it's your fault. You don't have a Ferrari, so you don't deserve her. You don't have a mansion at 20, so you don't deserve her. But if you go back to the past, this doesn't even make sense because nobody in the past needed a mansion at 20 to get a wife. Nobody in the past needed a Ferrari to get a wife. This is all they knew. This is all hypergamy on steroids. And so when you see a guy who's 6'6", I believe this guy is, and still loses girl, you kind of just come to the conclusion, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just the way the world is right now.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. Now I have Rinvoq, a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some folks have been itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieve dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and glaucoma. Serious infections, blood clots, are fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occur. See the event risk increases in age 50 plus with our disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, FB or C, smoked, are pregnant or dead. Don't take an allergy or have an infection.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. See a head-to-head study of Rinvoq versus another treatment at Rinvoq.com/see the data. Talk to your dermatologist if you're not doing well on your current pill or injection to see if Rinvoq is right for you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna walk you through the basic vision. It's a company page, sorry. Excuse me, I need to speak with you.
Did we punch a hole in the principal's door?
You know, lots changed since I...
It feels great when it's clean. The Ocedar H2 Pro and its 2 separate tanks. Sprays clean water, wipes clean, and the dirt goes into a separate tank. The H2 Pro system from Ocedar.
Y'all, you know how I feel about
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if Marco is interested in a relationship with you. Going by your cards, 6 of Cups in the primary position does show that both of you have a pretty good history with each other. So in terms of for dating, it already looks like you both have a good rapport, a good interaction history. 9 of Pentacles in the secondary position does say that trust is pretty high between the two of you as well. So this would also meet the prerequisite for a blooming relationship between two people. Now, 10 of Pentacles in the final position is going to act as the final evaluator, which it's giving an all green in terms of if Marco is interested in a relationship. So it seems like he has a very healthy and fairly strong interest in you. So I would expect him to pretty soon make some kind of advance towards you. Now, if you want to know how the future looks between the two of you for summertime, as well as any other compatibility issues, you can give me a call or send me a message.
I also don't like it when gaming companies install drivers on my system that are so invasive that I have to question, is it all worth it just to play a little bit of Call of Duty online? Ladies and gentlemen, virtualization is great for me because I can basically separate all the nastiness from my core computer all within a couple clicks on my system. Now, I wish most companies looked at it the way I did, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Now, to understand, I'm a huge Linux user on my platform, and one of the things is, most of my gaming nowadays is done underneath Linux. If you've been playing the Steam Deck, congratulations, we're Linux gamers as well. See, at this moment in time, Linux gaming has gotten so good that I really don't use Windows other than for just playing 3 games right now. One of them being Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, sadly. One of them is Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and Alan Wake 2. To understand why I play those 2 games in a virtual machine, it's because the graphic settings are so good on those games. You can enable things like path tracing, which makes the ray tracing go insanely on crack. It makes the actual visuals so worth it to the point where enabling these features, I can actually tell a difference in lighting, reflections, so on and so forth. It makes games like Cyberpunk 2077 even more immersive than they actually are. And it puts them at a night and day difference between playing them on a standard console like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and a tricked out PC. The problem is these feature sets require some serious assists to run. Without me using a lot of the DLSS features that NVIDIA provides, this game runs at like 30 frames per second on a 4090. To give you an idea, the graphic settings that I'm using are so heavy that they absolutely drop the highest grade graphics card on the market to its knees. So what does NVIDIA do? They release something known as DLSS frame generation. So alongside running the game at a smaller resolution and upscaling it while it looks pretty close to native, they have a frame duplication technology. So when I'm getting 30 frames, enabling DLSS and having enough CPU headroom, I can actually play the game at up to 60 frames or beyond. It makes playing this game actually playable underneath this system. Yeah, I have to deal with some input lag, but you know what? To be honest, I'm surprised the input lag is as good as it is, because I played 52 hours of this game underneath these graphic settings, and I am absolutely loving it. But to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very specific case. These graphic settings only exist in Windows. Yeah, we're sitting at a point where graphic settings and technologies are locked to operating systems. Now, there are some vendors like AMD that absolutely go out of their way to make sure everything is agnostic, meaning that if you are playing on Linux, Windows, fucking Mac at this point, you may actually have the opportunity to enable some of these cool features. Maybe they're not as good as NVIDIA, but they run across the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, quick recap here. Linux gaming is great. Aside from a few very specific rare case technologies like frame generation, a lot of games run day one out of the box underneath Linux. It's actually so easy that you can have any distribution right now. All you have to do is fire up Steam as of here, go to your gaming library, and basically any game that you find here, for instance, Lethal Company, great game, right click, properties, compatibility. You can force specific Proton compatibility tools, which is what Valve's special sauce is. See, a lot of games don't run on Linux because they're not natively made. These are just Windows games that Steam downloads, and it runs through their version of Proton, which is a compatibility layer that allows you to play Windows games on Linux in real time. They're careful. By hitting this green play button, it'll launch Valve's version of Proton, their compatibility layer, and you can play Windows games on PC. Now, this has went through so many advancements over the last few years. I can tell you right now, a couple of years ago, we couldn't even get DLSS working. Now we've got DLSS working, we've got ray tracing working. The only thing that doesn't work is that frame generation. I would play Cyberpunk 2077 underneath Linux. The problem is, I like to play over 30 frames per second if I can. If that one specific technology could work underneath Proton, that would make the only game I ever play underneath virtual machines where I need Windows is Call of Duty. And that's for a very specific reason, and it's one of the reasons why this video is titled the way that it is. I am willing to have my accounts banned. Now, a while back, I made a video in regards to me and BattleEye and Valorant, a lot of these big indie games that were starting to crack down on virtual machines. For the longest time, I used to play games like Rainbow Six Siege. I don't anymore. Because honestly, I have basically been kicked from it. To understand my setup and my system, I needed to use a virtual machine to play games like Rainbow Six Siege. Because the anti-cheat would basically not work underneath Linux. It's not that anti-cheat doesn't work underneath Linux. There are anti-cheats that do. For instance, Halo Infinite and Apex Legends both now run underneath Linux. If you have a Steam Deck, you can install Apex Legends or Halo Infinite right now and play those games online with other players. You cannot play games like Rainbow Six Siege or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 because some of the drivers and the key technologies are currently incompatible with Linux. Now, again, I have seen my name thrown on Ubisoft's forums. I have seen Ubisoft forum link members begging for Valve, or not Valve, we saw them. Well, that's what you can elaborate those 16. But so far, they have not. And that's one of the reasons why I use a virtual machine so I can install Windows under it and then play Steam. And for a while, that worked really well. It really did. So today, I'm going to walk you through a few steps that allow me to bypass this and run these games, even if the APG technology doesn't work as want me to. Now, before we continue, I'm sure some people are like, what, Buddha, don't you lose a lot of frames when you game in a VM? Yes, you do have a performance loss. But as I'm going to show you, playing a game like Cyberpunk 2077, where I'm able to sit in that 90 to 100 frame range, yes, I am losing frames, but there are a lot of assists with virtualization technology that make it so that these performance penalties don't really feel, you don't really feel them as you're playing. For instance, I can play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 at 150 to 200 frames per second. Could I do better if I was running bare metal Windows? Probably. But if probably not. So when it comes to VR chat, when they're showcasing how to actually bypass or run their software because they use easy anti-cheat and APG advanced virtual machines now, that should be a dead giveaway that the virtual machine gamers aren't the biggest threats in the world. We'll look into that in a bit. So they showcase how to enable Hyper-V enlightenment. Hyper-V, for those of you who don't know, I showcased as a way to bypass the Valorant game.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if you'll ever get your ex back due to some stuff that you ended up doing that caused the breakup. Now, going by your cards, the Judgment card in the primary position is simply establishing what you've kind of already alluded to, with there being an event between the two of you where you essentially made a mistake and it's caused this schism between the two of you. Seven of Wands in the secondary position is showing that right now it would be very difficult to try and patch things up with her because she doesn't really want to engage with you or really hear you out right now, since it did seem to cause her a lot of harm. Now, Page of Wands in the final position is saying that despite this difficulty, you do have an opportunity to try and get her back, but you will need to go back to your roots when it comes to this relationship. I think you need to remember why exactly both of you even got together in the first place and the kind of mindset that you had back then before you ended up making the mistakes that you did. I think that usually a breakup is a good opportunity to try and reflect on what core energies and attitudes even brought you both back together. I'm going to have to redo that. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if you'll ever get your ex back, since you did do something to her in the prior relationship that was essentially a mistake. Going by your cards, the Judgment card in the primary position is just confirming what you've already laid out, that you did do something significant that did cause the schism between the two of you. Seven of Wands in the secondary position is saying that right now it would be very difficult to patch things up with her, since it did seem like you did a good bit of damage to her emotionally. Now, Page of Wands in the final position is saying that you do have an opportunity to make things right with her in the future if you are able to recalibrate and reflect on what core emotions and behaviors originally brought you two together anyway. I feel like when there is a period of separation in a couple, it's a good opportunity for both people to look back and think about what attitudes, personality traits, and energy their partner brought to even have them come together, especially when it comes to what they themselves bring into the relationship. So overall, I see a pretty positive indicator for you, so I don't think you should despair. And if you want to know more about what the future holds for both of you in the coming week, as well as any other issues that may come up, you can give me a call or send me a message.
Is powering all these games that you're seeing right now. And of course, Valorant, which has Vanguard, is probably one of the games on the market. And this is the one where I guess a lot of gamers really learned about, Ring 0 drivers, kernel drivers, which run at the highest elevated permissions on your system. Now, as somebody that advocates privacy and computer security, you can imagine why I'm not comfortable with a video game. Remember, this is a video game. It's something for you to relax and enjoy for maybe an hour of your day. If that is running at the highest elevated permissions just to ensure a fair game, then for me, it's not worth playing that game, and I can just go play something else, right? That's where I kind of come into. Obviously, some gamers who love these type of things disagree. See, my stance means that I can't play basically 90% of multiplayer games out there on the market unless I, by technicality, am kind of violating the rules by using a virtual machine. I have a pretty hardline stance against this, and I think most people should. Call of Duty, which actually introduced Ricochet Anti-Cheat, which was their version of kernel anti-cheat security drivers. Again, these are Ring 0 drivers that are running at the most elevated permission level. And even these drivers don't seem to do a whole heck of a lot at times, too. For instance, even according to Valorant, you can see footage online of people using what is known as extrasensory perception hacks, where this scumbag can see all of these players and where they are in relation to his distance. So again, this is the most stringent game in terms of security, and it's very good. I gotta give Riot Games credit, but it's still unfortunately bypassed. You have scumbag companies openly advertising on Google, teaching you about extrasensory perception cheats. And if you think Valorant has it bad, Tarkov has it even worse, where their game, I think the ratio is like an insane amount of cheaters to very few legitimate gamers. So yeah, these cheats exist, and unfortunately, they're not going anywhere, because these cheats are serious moneymakers for these scumbags. These cheats are being sold by the bucket load. And to give you an idea, it's gotten to the point where these cheats don't even touch video games. See, for these cheats to be detected, usually what will happen is anti-cheats will look through memories and process and see what actual programs are interacting with the game and what games are fuddling around with memory. But now there exist things like AI aimbots, which don't even touch the game. They just look at a video feed of the game and correct your mouse movements as you pan over other players using artificial intelligence, which again is getting to a point where it's very, very undetectable. A lot of people have the hardware to run this type of software in real time and basically use AI-based anti-cheat. For instance, this one scumbag is advertising an actual anti-cheat on YouTube. It should be removed. This is a violation of YouTube's TOS, where they're showing an AI cheat that as you pan over a player, reduces your mouse movement so you can better aim for heads or the body. And again, these scumbags sell it for $20 a month, 20 euros a month. So again, ladies and gentlemen, these people sell this software, and this is even more dangerous than the anti-cheat software. If you got the anti-cheat software ran invasive, this software runs even more invasive on your system. Not only that, it comes with its own DRM, and in certain cases can actually cause serious harm to a user. So
What's up, Boils? Today's video won't be too long. My phone's dying, and I forgot my car charger, so I don't know. It's in.
What exactly do you learn at the School for Royal Magic, Sophia?
I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. This is the day I've been dreaming of all summer. Welcome to term 12.
Don't just stand there, we've got spells to learn.
Real mental!
It's up to you, Sophia, to master your magic in order to keep your family, friends, and all of our kingdoms safe.
Whoa! My amulet is giving me new power. Sophia, look out! I guess it's a good thing I'm at a school for royal magic. This might be hard, because I wasn't always royal. Just be yourself.
And your bravery will guide you.
Ready, everyone? Follow me.
What? Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if you'll be successful at stripping. Going by your cards, the hangman in the primary position in reverse does show that when it comes to that kind of industry and what you have going for you, it seems like there will be a little bit of a mismatch between what you're expecting and what it actually will end up being like. So already going off of this, I would say that you need to go ahead and probably look into the industry a little bit more and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. Queen of Wands in the secondary position does show that there's a lot that you'll benefit from. So I'm seeing a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility that would be there for you if you go ahead and commit to this kind of career path. Now, Four of Swords is the only other problem area that I'm seeing in the final position. It is showing that due to the odd hours and some of the other requirements and the toll it might take on you, that you will need to make sure that you are enforcing some kind of sleep regimen, because it will be very easy for you to end up going without sleep in this kind of work style. But I feel like as long as you take care of those areas, then the money will end up eventually coming to you. Now, if you want to know more about how things will look during the summertime, as well as any problems you may run into while you're pursuing this career, you can give me a call or send me a message. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if your marriage is over. Going by your cards, Five of Pentacles in the primary position and reversed is showing that right now things are in a pretty bad place regarding the marriage. Now, Two of Wands in the secondary position is interesting because it is saying, due to it being reversed, that despite things being in such a bad place, it doesn't really seem like there's much opportunity for either of you to really leave. So this is already suggesting that it's better for both of you to just work things out. And Three of Swords in the final position kind of builds upon this. With it being reversed, it's showing that neither party has really even thought about or tried to mend things quite yet. So I think what you're both really needing right now is some kind of mediator or some kind of other neutral party to help you both begin to traverse what exactly is causing a rift between the two of you. I think that if you were able to tackle that, then your marriage wouldn't end up being terminated. Now, if you want to know more about what you can do to save the marriage, as well as any other issues that may come up in your life, you can give me a call or send me a message.
want to give you the "you're one of the good ones" titles. You know, I like you because you're not like the other uggos, or you're not like the other, fill in blank. You're one of the good ones, but being one of the good ones gets you nowhere. It's just what a pat on the back when I act like a good old jester man. Like, it's just not worth it, man. It really isn't. And unfortunately, if you stand up for yourself, there may be conflict. I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying go out there and look for it, but at least when it comes to me, there was always a chance. Whenever I didn't kiss their ass, when I didn't back down, when I was just trying to run my own business, it would get physical. And I'd be forced to defend myself. And as we get older, it's like things have gotten more violent. I've noticed. That's why, and obviously, depending on where you live, maybe it wouldn't hurt to get a projectile launcher. But people don't have honor. I'm not saying fight because of honor of the samurai. Like, now, if you got to use something else, it is what it is because people have no honor. You don't know what they'll do. But it's just dawned on me more and more. It's why I want to get back into martial arts again because I've gotten rusty. There's a lot of remember that I try to keep up with, but I've got a little rusty. There's some new moves I like to learn, some graphics I like to get better at. Because I took in a couple of MMA classes. Like, I did mostly Muay Thai for a little bit there. And I'll still kind of do those Muay Thai drills and all that. But I would like to try out some other stuff. I did take some MMA classes, not a lot, but I like them, And I remember like, not sparring, but like practicing with this Chad. He's a cool dude, but like, he was like, hey, you're a strong guy, man. Like, have you done this before? You seem like kind of a natural, and that's not me bragging. That's what the Chad said. So, hey. And, kind of like takedowns and kind of just getting just kind of in the moves he was showing.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you mainly want to know how he's feeling right now after you kind of laid it all out to him and his mom. And you also want to know how he feels since you're occupied by another guy. And going by your cards, 5 of Cups in the primary position does show that you seem to have really left an impression on him. So I do think that your words really shook him to his core. 10 of Cups in the secondary position in reverse is showing mainly when it comes towards you being occupied by the other man. It seems that definitely has eaten him up inside and given him a lot of despair, since he seems to have really wanted something with you, even if he wasn't exactly the most direct about communicating that. 7 of Swords in the final position in reverse is warning that you do make sure that you keep your distance away from him right now, since it does seem like part of him wants to sabotage whatever you have going on outside of him. Now, if you want to know more about what the future holds for both of you in the coming month, as well as any other issues that could arise, you can give me a call or send me a message. Darkness all around and the sky is high. Everybody thinks it's a time to die. Came by, baby. I was working out for. Fuck.
Just one day, Spruce, pet friendly, feed dead.
It's like a professional whitening treatment without the $400 price. Try Crest. Your brand's starting to feel a little stale. Time for a refresh. So you open up the file and realize you can't edit anything. It's flat. But with
An entire season, all building to this. All are making stakes on the biggest stage, and there can only be one.
You know, because unfortunately for us in this realm, might makes right. If you look weak to someone, they will try to take advantage, and you either swim or you drown in this world. People are cowards. If they think you are a victim, they will try you. Also, if life is tough for them, if they get guard crapped on all the time, they will try to take it out on you. You know, because excess men, people know instinctively by nature that excess men are this world's punching bag. Anything goes wrong, you just blame some excess man, you blame some athlete, some ugly guy. You try to start stuff with them because you know that if they defend themselves 9 times out of 10, they'll be punished. And you'll get off with like a slap on the wrist. And people know that society does not like you. It is not in your head. You're not imagining anything. Like you're not a human to these people. But yeah, like growing up, I just learned that you gain this kind of a lot of us are viewed as weirdos and schizos and kind of very untrusting. But we have every reason to be untrusting. You know, the teachers, the school system, a lot of the adults in our life never had our back. Always blamed us, always tried to cause us pain. And so in terms you get older, you just don't trust them, man. You're just very like I don't need them. You know, I don't trust the authority, this system. I don't trust people because they always stab me in the back. Like, you're going to be very on guard around others. I just remember all the times I had to deal with these demons and these evil teachers would throw me out of the bus, make me the bad guy. Well, you both need to be punished, even though this other kid was like, yeah, I've talked about him, I've talked about this, but I remember, I think I've talked about this years ago, man. This is the 2000s, like mid-2000s. I'm on the bus. It's elementary school. I'm sitting with my Chad friend, and this kid, this wild kid, I don't even remember his name. I just remember he was just this weirdo, man. I remember he like pulled his pants, you know, his pants down on the bus. He was just acting weird. The bus driver's not stopping the bus, just kind of reacted to him like, hey, sit down. And me and my Chad friend are kind of just staring at him like, what's this?
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know, will you and your ex get back together? Going by your cards, the Temperance card in the primary position does show that internally your situation between the two of you, things aren't bad. So it's already like there's a feeling that both of you could get back together. Now, the real issue here is shown in King of Cups in the secondary position. With it being reversed, it's posing the question not so much if you'll both get back together, but why. So for that why, it's mainly asking, do you even feel the same about each other anymore? So is the romance still there? Now, Three of Pentacles in the final position is saying that ultimately, if both of you were to have a bit of a talk about things in the near future and without delaying having this heart-to-heart, that you could actually rebuild things and tackle that kind of problem as to if you both still even like or love each other. So I'd recommend that you go ahead and get in contact with your ex and pop the question. And if you want to know more about what the future holds for both of you for the summertime, as well as any issues that may come up, you can give me a call or send me a message. This is brutal. It's so brutal.
Bear took the B pill. I was like, that's not true. You know, people that are garbage to you often do fine in life. You know, knew this like wealthy upper class guy. His grandma was like high. Did somewhere in the school district, school system, and she was very high up. Came from a wealthy family. Just, you know, homophobic, racist piece of shit. You know, the type of liberal woman or talk about. I'll never date these type of men. Of course, you know, he had a Stacy girlfriend, and me and him went through it a couple times, but maybe I'll talk about I'm not going to make a video about him, but, you know, he did fine. He got like a scholarship. He went to a good university.
Fuck, it's almost time. I think he's going to call me
now, but he's doing. Last time I saw it was a couple of years ago. He's doing just fine. And so that's why I developed that mindset of like, because if I truly